Welcome to this week's Future Consideration, SB Nation's premier NFL draft show. That's Matt Ufford. He's our NFL guy.
Indeed I am. Dan Rubenstein covers college football.
Also true. Let's get into this week's Mocking the Draft mock draft. They do a fantastic job each and every week on SB Nation. Blake Bortles, number 1 to the Texans.
I was a little bit too nonchalant about this pick last week, because I was just like, oh, it's a mock draft and it's a thought experiment.
Now it's serious.
This is a little bit crazy to me. Teddy Bridgewater is very obviously the best quarterback in this draft to me, in my opinion.
No, that makes sense.
And I just think that I don't understand why Bortles would be number 1 overall.
It's the size, it's the ability to move, I guess. I don't know. Greg Robinson, though, at number 2 to the Rams. I love that pick.
You like this one.
They walk away with the guy who can drive block better than anybody in this draft. That's a win for me. That's a win for Zach Stacy.
In a division with nasty front sevens.
Can't hurt at all. Clowney, speaking of nasty front seven, to the Jags, joining Gus Bradley.
Great defensive mind. And that's an up-and-coming defense. I think that's a great pick.
They did improve over the course of the year,
You're not going to be upset about drafting Jadeveon Clowney.
That's a big win there for them. Manziel to Cleveland.
They obviously need a quarterback. They really like themselves some Johnny Manziel. I'm not sure how he's going to like Cleveland,
right.
but that's his problem.
With potentially a top 2-3 receiver already in the NFL.
Yeah.
Not a terrible place, all things considered. Oakland, Bridgewater, if he falls that far, wowza.
That's a great pull for Oakland. I don't see Bridgewater falling to 5,
right.
But if that were the case, they'd have to be happy.
All right, what else stood out to you after the top 5?
How about number 8, the Minnesota Vikings, Coney Ealy from Missouri, defensive end. I would love for the Vikings to have a new quarterback just because I feel that Adrian Peterson is trapped in this hell where if they just had a decent quarterback on offense, they'd be in such better shape as a team.
What happened the last time they reached for a quarterback?
Oh, let's not. No.
Yeah, no, I like Coney Ealy there. They need help, all that they can get in the front seven. The
Absolutely.
Bills, Sammy Watkins. I think we both like the player, don't like the selection.
Love Sammy Watkins. I don't. That team has bigger needs than wide receiver.
Especially with what they invested last year with both Marquise Goodwin and Robert Woods and speed at that position.
I mean, they've got a top 10 pick. Why not use it on another running back?
Aw, that makes me a little bit sad. Moving right along, Dallas and Rashid Hageman, a Dallas defense that allowed everything to go through it.
That's a porous defense.
Hageman, the big defensive tackle from
Shoring
Minnesota.
up the middle of the D of the front seven makes a ton of sense.
Never hurts to add a big, talented body. Baltimore Ravens at 17, speaking of which, Taylor Lewan, the big tackle from Michigan.
Yeah.
A situation, Baltimore in flux along the offensive line. Do you like that?
Exactly. With Michael Orr and Eugene Monroe both being free agents, you know what? Let them walk and put a first-round draft pick, get a talented tackle like Taylor Lewan, one of your top 5 picks from last week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And with uncertainty in that backfield with Ray Rice.
Ray Rice!
Might as well invest in beefing up the offensive line. Darqueze Dennard, Cincinnati at 24. Love this pick.
Yeah, every time I hear his name, I think of Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck. Let's get
Dangerous.
Darqueze Dennard, possibly the most talented corner in this draft.
Leon Hall coming back from a season-ending injury. It makes sense to beef up the secondary, especially when they've got a terrific front seven already.
Beefing up the secondary, never a bad thing in the NFL.
No, indeed not.
All right, that is our mock draft review of Mocking the Draft. They do a terrific job every week. Where do you agree? Where do you disagree? How did your team do? Let us know in the comments, and we'll do it again next week.